Hello everyone, Gifted Soul here. So I have a review for you all. It is a deck that I normally don't use until towards the end of the year or during full moon and new moon phases. I've had this deck since last year. I actually started my tarot deck and oracle card deck collection last year. This I didn't purchase until way probably in the middle of the year. Can't remember exactly when I got it. I do have, however, I think I did a full flip through of the deck or an unboxing when I first got it. It may or may not still be on my channel. I'm not sure because I have deleted some videos. But you should be able to find the unboxing. So it is by PC Cast and Colette Baron Reid. I do have a few of Colette Baron Reid decks in my collection, and this deck is based off of a book series. My friends and I in high school actually read some of the books before. And I found one recently around my parents' house, which is where I'm at now. So I will show you the book. This isn't the first book, I don't think, but this is just one that we've had laying around. It is one of those, it is a library book that we didn't turn back in, so that is why you would see, I'm going to cover up the location because I'm not trying to show everybody where I live. But, well, I don't live here anymore anyway. I live in a different city, but, so it is the, I'm going to find something to cover it up. I don't, it's a reason why I cover up the location. So I do hope you don't think I'm just trying to be funny, but let me just move that out the way. I'll just cover it up with my hand. So here's one of the books. I don't know which book this is. It is Haunted, a House of Night novel. As you can see, it says PC Cast right there. The rest of her name is covered up by that barcode. And Kristen Cast, so I guess they're related. So yeah, that is where the inspiration from this deck came from. And then they just added a twist to it, which is Colette Baron Reid, and I absolutely adore her decks. And yeah, so I don't use this often. I literally just pulled this off of my shelf not long ago. As most of you know, I am at my parents' house currently. I still have my place, but I've been in and out from my parents' house for different reasons, but I should be going back home soon. But anyway, when I did come over here into my sister's, I did bring a lot of decks with me, and this is one that I did not bring with me at first, but when I got a chance to go back to my place again, I went and grabbed this deck along with a few others. And I just started using it. In my last pick a card reading, you will see that I used it. That's when I first started using it again. So it's a great deck. I love the deck. I've never really feel drawn to use it, and it seems to be like right around Christmas time, Thanksgiving time, fall months, or new moon and full moon phases. They're actually good cards to meditate with as well. So yeah, so here is the box. In the inside, it is white and it's very glossy in the inside. I don't know if you can see that. So I'll just put that over there. Here is the guidebook. My inspiration to show you this deck today was I saw somebody's review. Not a review, they did. They showed their top 5 oracle decks that they have or that they like to use around this time, and this was one of the decks that they had. And I was like, you know what? Maybe I should pull this deck back out and do a review on it, since I am now using it again as well around this time. So here is the guidebook. It is a very simple guidebook, but to be honest, you really won't need it unless there are some cards that have characters from the books. I don't remember much about the books, to be honest, because again, I read those when I was in high school. But it is kind of like, it's dark. It's mysterious. It's not like really scary, but you would think it would be. But yeah, I love this image on the box here. The design is amazing. Blue is my favorite color, and I'm loving this color blue that she chose, or they chose. So it says, what if you really belong to the House of Night? These oracle cards offer you a way to converse with the goddess Nyx, just like Zoe Redbird. Okay, so those, what I just listed, those are characters in the book. So some of these cards have characters' names in parentheses next to a keyword. I really don't think you would need to know much about the book series to use this deck. However, if you want to get reference on the characters, check out the guidebook. It should be a little information in there about that, as well as the books, if you can get a hold of them. So it says, turn to the wisdom of the House of Night when you're wondering, what do I do in this situation? What can I expect from my relationship? What will result from my next action? Ask Nyx your question, select a card, and use the enclosed guidebook to interpret her messages. Includes 50 cards, 128 page guidebook. Then you have previews of a few cards at the back. And yeah, so it looks like it was created. I'm going to check the guidebook before I say that. The back seems to say 2012. 2012, yes, I was somewhat aware of my psychic abilities. However, I was not reading cards and stuff at the time. I've been into cards since around 2014, I would say. But I never started reading them and adding them into, incorporating them with my gift until literally last year. But it feels like I've been doing it forever. So yeah. So let's look in the guidebook. So the guidebook is well made, I feel, in terms of stock. Like I said, these are simple cards. Your intuition should be able to speak for itself. You really wouldn't just need to refer to the guidebook. At least I don't. So there is, it says Potter Style, so I'm guessing that is who, the publishing company. So you get the table of contents there. I apologize if this thing is shaking. The story of the Oracle of Nyx. You can choose to read that. I guess that gives you a taste of what's in the actual book series, possibly. I haven't did much digging through this guidebook. I never really need it. In the case that I do need it, it's only a few cards where I do have to refer to the guidebook, but usually I'll just go off with my intuition. And some of these cards seem to actually go along with traditional tarot meanings, I feel. I'll get to that in a minute. So yeah, it gives you the story. It also gives you the purpose of the cards, how to use the cards, how to ask a question. Here is a list of questions that you can ask. What is going on here in this situation? What am I not seeing here? How will the situation progress? So on and so forth. Examples and sample readings. One card reading Choosing an extra card for clarity, 2-card relationship reading. Yeah, and then it goes into the card messages. You get the name of the card here, black and white reproduction of the card, a note, not really an affirmation, but kind of like just not even advice. I wouldn't know what to call it. Just like a simple, it's advice in many ways, but I wouldn't say it's advice. I can't find the word, but yeah. So it's not much information, which I think is fine, because I mean, I like how the guidebook is made, and again, not oftentimes you would have to refer to it. At least I don't. So you get about a paragraph for each card. And then, so it was created in 2012 or published in 2012. Cover and book design by Danielle Deschenes. Sorry if I'm saying that wrong. And Jenna Della Grataglia. I've heard of her just because it's been so long since I've had to say her name. I just cannot pronounce it. But yeah, about a paragraph for each card. Simple guidebook. You have information on the back about the guidebook. So yeah. So PC Cass, I'll give you some information about her here on the back, is a #1 New York Times and USA Today best-selling fantasy and paranormal romance author and co-creator with her daughter Kristen Cass of the best-selling House of Night series. She lives in Oklahoma. Visit her at www.pccass.net, and I'm sure most of you have heard a lot about Colette Baron Reid, but it says she is an intuitive counselor, motivational speaker, and the best-selling author of several books and oracle decks, including Wisdom of the Hidden Realms and Wisdom of Avalon. I do have both of those decks, by the way, so if you're interested in a flip through of that, or just a review after after I've been able to use it, just leave a request and I'll get to it. I have used it. I did an unboxing, I think, of both. I'm not sure if I did full flip throughs, but I did do unboxings of them. But anyway, she lives in New Hampshire. Visit her at www.colettebaronreid.com. So yeah, I do apologize for the snoring. Again, I'm at my parents' house, and my sister, my younger sister, just had a baby about 2 weeks ago, and he's here with her for the time being. Just came by after work, so, and he is a loud snorer, and I want to go ahead and get this done. I've been trying to ignore it, but I can't. So yeah, so I'm gonna move the rest of this out of the way and just so I've got the cards out. So here, they're really glossy, so they're kind of hard to show. Okay, so I'm back. I just needed a drink of water. But anyway, so yeah, they're really glossy, kind of a little hard to put in the, I'm using my phone, and I have the light on to give you more, the flashlight thing, so it could help you see the cards clearer and a little bit better. So here is the back. As you can see, I'm smearing, like, my hands prints are in them. I mean, it's something I got used to, but I really wish that wouldn't happen with the cards. Card stock, I think it's okay, but if you're familiar with this deck, you know that it has very sharp edges. I have pricked myself with them a few times before, so you do have to be careful. You can always trim them if you would like. So it does have silver gilded edges. Now, because I don't use these often, that's why the silver is still there. But it is trying to go ahead and chip off since I am shuffling it and using it now. I'll go ahead and show you how it shuffles. It really doesn't, the gold gilding won't really mess up unless you shuffle like this. That's how it can mess up the fastest. But for the most part, like shuffling it is pretty easy. You just have to be careful because you can hurt yourself because they are so sharp. But size is great. I just don't like the sharp edges, and I wish that, you know, it wouldn't smear. They are bendy, which is okay, but yeah. So guess I could flip through all of the cards. These aren't in order. I do use them. I have used them. And as you saw, I did shuffle. So even if I had them in order, they're not going to be in order now. So here is, and some of these are apparently backwards. Now, before I get into the rest of the cards, I just want to see if, because I haven't did a whole rundown through this guidebook, and I have seen in other decks that I didn't know that I have that actually do give a rundown of reverse meanings. So I don't know if this one, some people will probably read them in reverse anyway, because I know there are a handful of people that read the Romance Angels Oracle deck by Doreen Virtue in reverse. And it kind of bothers me, but everybody has a personal preference. However, if a deck does not come with reverse meanings, I don't use them that way. And so far that I know of, this doesn't have reverse meanings. There are decks with guidebooks that tell you what to do in the case jumper cards come out, or if they come up upside down. But if you use them that way, it says, if you prefer to use it that way, it gives you an idea of how you would read them that way. So far from what I see, there doesn't appear to be anything about upside down cards. If you have this deck and you see otherwise, do let me know so I can see, because I've never used, when I have used them, I've never used them in reverse. Okay, so they are numbered. So the number is up here, and then we have a keyword here. Letting go. I'm not sure how good you can see that, but it has butterflies. It looks like a branch. I don't know what that is, but yeah. From a distance, it kind of looks like a sea or an ocean or something, but it's not. There is water in the picture, though. It's not, but the butterflies are not in the water, but they're flying over it. It looks like that there's something underwater, though. So that is Let Go. And number 27, Hope. So I'm going to try to show these the best way that I can. So I can see where this possibly looks like hope, because you have the moon just hiding in the back there. Anytime I see a full moon outside, I do get hopeful. I do start to feel like my dreams and my wishes could come true. I know it sounds kind of fairy tale like, but I've always felt like that when I go outside, see moons, see stars. It kind of makes me feel better. and gives me a lot of hope. So I can see where that would be hope in some lights. So, and then we have love, which is number 10. And what I've noticed is this deck does pair really well with other decks, especially tarot. So yeah. Rigid. Now for Rigid, and that's number 30. For a card like Rigid, it's probably where I would go to the guidebook to at least get some type of definition. Let's see. I'm going to look in the guidebook and see. So I can give you an example of how the guidebook works. So Rigid. Is there a so I think this little note here is telling you to ask yourself a question. It says, is there a stone wall that stands between you and others? Could that wall be inside you? Okay, so the meaning here is now is the time to become more flexible, which I figured, and to drop your rigid expectations of yourself, and especially of others. Don't be afraid to drop your guard a little too. If you are willing to let others in, you will see a benefit in these connections. Another meaning here is that you recognize the wall that others may have put up. Don't take it personally if they won't let you in. This is their way of coping, and it has little to do with you. So that wasn't a reading. What I was just doing was just getting a card and giving you an example of what to expect when, you know, referencing to the guidebook with a card. So you have confidence, and like I said, there is names in parentheses, which is, I believe, the characters' names in the book, in the book series. Card number 42, confidence. It says, I don't know how to pronounce that, SGIACH. That is one of the characters in the book. Like I said, I don't remember much about the book series, but I do think it's cool that they came out with a deck. And somebody mentioned about a follow-up deck possibly, that it would be a good idea for that. I'm actually looking forward to something like that if they do make it a second deck to this, because there are many books series. It's a series of books, so I would think maybe they might come out with a series of decks as well. That would be cool. So we have the fledgling, and this is number 1. Summon. So that's actually one of my favorite cards. Now I really don't think there's a card in this deck that I don't care for. I'm not sure. We'll find out while I'm going through them right now. Because again, I have not seen all these cards in forever. So we have Lust. That's another one of my favorites. I just like the image. So it's number 24. So yeah. Lust could mean just attraction, not necessarily just sexual. You can read it in many different ways. So we have the High Priestess of Water. This would be another one that I would have to go in the book and look for. There's a few priestesses in here, I believe. So the High Priestess of Water. And then we have Deceit, and then another character, Neferet. Obedience, number 48. I'm not really sure. I mean, I see the blindfold, but I would think that for obedience, the card would kind of be like, more of like, if I'm allowed to say that, like a bondage type of thing. Like, I mean, I like it the way it is, but yeah. Belonging and House of Night is in parentheses here. So that's the main thing. Trapped, and I feel when like I said, it does kind of give a feel of tarot to me. Like this could easily be the Eight of Swords here with the Trapped card. In parentheses, it's Raphaim, I think. And then we have Complicated. See, I like the image, but I'm kind of confused by it. Yeah. I guess that's like maybe supposed to be some type of maze. It doesn't quite give off that, but I see what they were trying to do there. But at the same light, in the same sense, I am confused. And confused is complicated. So, okay. Now, I just answered my own question. Alright. So, High Priestess of Spirit. Number 7. Also, there's characters in this deck that have like symbols and stuff on their face. I do think they mean something, if I'm not mistaken. We have Denial. And there's like a little moon. They look like tattoos, pretty much. But they're supposed to symbolize something. High Priestess of Earth. Vision, Aphrodite. Number 8. Playful. Number 44. A cute little cat. So a little fun fact, I used to have 2 cats. Well, one was mine and one was my sister's. So, number 9, Chaos. So, with this card, this is, depends on like what kind of spread I'm doing. If, depends on if I like that card or not. Like if I'm doing past, present, future reading, and this comes up as the past position, I'll be okay. But if it comes up as an outcome, then I'm a little iffy. So, I would think anybody would be. So focused. So this one is a little bent because my nephew, he's 1 year old, the youngest nephew, and he takes the cards. If I leave him out by accident or something, he'll take them and he'll bend them, like bend them all the way in half. So he kind of had fun with that card. So, but I hope you saw it well. I mean, it's, you can't really tell, but yeah. He actually likes cards too, so I wonder if he'll be reading them when he gets older. Differences. You see how apples and oranges differ from each other, and you have a black and white cat. That would symbolize the Chariot to me and traditional tarot. Now this isn't a tarot deck, however I see a lot of similarities in cards that could easily be depicted as a tarot card. So that would definitely kind of be like the Chariot to me with the black and white cat. So Forbidden, number 18. Now the numbers on the cards can often mean something. But in my readings, I often get people to tell me, oh, that number resonates with me. It's how many kids I have, or it's an anniversary date, a birth date, or a time frame or something. They always, some of them are like, this means something for me. So if you ever hear me say in a pick a card reading or even in a personal reading that the number on the card may mean something and it may not, that's my way of saying that for some people it resonates with them specifically in some way, but not everybody's gonna have that. So yeah, that's why I say that. But anywho, choices, Kelowna. So this is a male. I'm confused. Not confused, but I don't get why he has angel wings. Excuse me. So, honesty. Fulfillment. Love that. Pomegranate. I would say that's a glass of wine, but it's possibly to be juice from this pomegranate. Invisible. Meditation. But yeah, these are, speaking of meditation, these are good to pull like for a weekly or even a monthly draw. So you can have something to focus on for that time period. But yeah, I really can't say anything bad about this deck. My only concern is the very sharp edges, more than anything. But someone trimmed them. I saw it on YouTube and they look good trimmed. However, I'm afraid to trim any deck that I own because I feel like I'm just going to do the wrong thing and it's not going to turn out as good as somebody else did. So, yeah. Conclusion. So as you can see, I think this symbol might be in every card. Let me see. It looks like in most cards that symbol would be there, that moon. High Priestess of Air. So we have priestesses here and it's made up of all the elements. So far we've seen spirit, water, air, earth. I'm not sure about if there's even a fire in here. The warrior. If your favorite color is blue, you're going to love this deck for sure. High Priestess of Fire. So, yeah. Loyalty, Stevie Ray, which is another character in the book, I believe. And we have, well, not a few more. We have quite a few more. Self-worth. Success. Wishing. So the number here is 19. Nine of Cups is usually a card of wish fulfillment. So you can reference that to a tarot card as well. Message. Beauty. So I don't know if you can see that, but the symbol is also in this card as well. It seems to be in most of the cards. If you have to look for it kind of really hard to see it in most of them. It's even in this one as well. Strength. I'm not really sure how this represents strength. But yeah. It's a cool image. I'm just not sure how you would get the word strength out of it, you know. That's kind of like, it looks kind of dark. Kind of. Yeah. Movement. So this could also be Chariot, but it was this other card that I felt was more, it was a differences card that I felt was more of the Chariot, but this could be that as well. The Moon. Risk. So that would kind of be like the Fool card. Reminder. And then if you can see, it says don't forget in the wall here, the stone. Fragment. Number 15. Grove. Understanding. Cycles. Oath. Number 23, listening, and her name is Cramisha. I think I'm saying that right. So it also seems to be a diverse deck as well. There's a note written in this card as well, if you could see that. Let me see what it says. Darkness does not always equate to evil. Light does not always bring good. Pretty much not judging a book by its cover is what that would be saying. And individuality, Zoe, number 47. So that was the flip through of the deck. Trying to see if I'm missing anything else. What I could do is pull something for us to meditate on. At least for the rest of December. From now until the end of December. So I'm just shuffling. Okay. As most of you know, I do have a shuffling process, so it can take me quite a little while. So I'm going to pull differently than I normally do so you guys can see. But we're going to do it this way this time. These are kind of hard to kind of just lay out like that though, so bear with me. Let's see, where's Spirit guiding my hands to go? So we have chaos. Now, this is just gonna, I feel like it's gonna tell us how to deal with chaos rather than telling us that that's what's coming our way. We're going to learn how to deal with this. So, number 9, chaos. So, I'm gonna give you what the guidebook says. So, here we are. Let's locate number 9. So, a storm is brewing and misunderstandings are all too common as chaos swirls around your life right now. So that is a little note it gives. And then it says, my child, you have nothing to fear. I am here to remind you that after a storm, the air is cleared and life will begin again, even better than before. The silly thing is, if you refuse to take shelter, you will get soaked and you may have to repair a lot of damage. If you created the chaos, you will have to clean it up. But if others are the cause, you must step out of it and wait out the storm. You would be glad you did. A good thing to say to yourself is no drama. So that pretty much speaks for itself. Yeah. So I feel like a lot of you are coming out of that stage rather than going towards it. But just meditate on the words no drama, I feel, is what this is telling you from now until the end of December. Or you can take it as a message to go with you for the new year. So, chaos. So that was, I guess you could say, a walkthrough, full flip through of the Wisdom of the House of Night Oracle deck by PC Cass and Colette Baron Reed. You'll probably see me use this more often on my YouTube channel now. Yeah. I also have, I just purchased 2 new decks recently, so I'll be doing some unboxing soon, probably. So yeah, I wish you all love and light, and I'll see you in the next one.